afternoon. On Tuesday, November 5th, 2012, many changes took place in the United States of America. Not only was a new president re-elected, but also the states, Oregon, Washington, and Colorado had the chance to vote on whether or not marijuana would be a recreational drug. According to CBC News, both Colorado and Washington voted yes, while Oregon voted no. Although they voted yes, that in the state government doesn't change in the federal government. So what's the point of all this fussing if it will never truly be illegal or legal in the eyes of the federal government? My name is Rebecca Hensley, and I'm here today to confront the problems and misconceptions many people hold about marijuana. I'll start by talking about its history, and then move on to a survey I conducted, and lastly, I will discuss the dangers of the drug. At the end of this speech, if you know someone who uses this drug, you will be able to respond correctively and help them to maybe overcome these problems. Marijuana is a very popular topic within the media and government the past few decades. It's a controversial subject between the law enforcement, political parties, doctors, and many other categories of citizens. According to CBC News, marijuana began in this country when the Spanish brought it over to the New World in 1545. In 1611, the English introduced it in Jamestown, Virginia, where it became a major cash crop along with tobacco. In the 1890s, it became very popular with doctors, and it was prescribed as a prescription for nausea and labor pain. By the 1920s, it became so popular that it was restricted to only celebrities and other uses. So by the 1930s, the United States, the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, portrayed this marijuana as a powerful, addicting substance that could lead citizens to addiction. In the 1960s, hippies and college students began using it more than they should, and it served as a symbol of rebellion against authority. Finally, in 1961, the United States of America portrayed this drug illegal, and now today in our society, if anyone is found with any ounce of it on them, they will face a criminal charge. I conducted a survey in my communications class with a few college students. My findings are very interesting. When I asked them about the issues of marijuana, the majority of them said that they supported the medical use of marijuana, agreed with it being taxed, knew at least 10 people who used it, and thought that if it was used recreationally, its consequences, there should be criminal consequences served. But yet, if given the option, they would still vote no to making it legal. The majority of the reason for voting no would be because medical use would never be prohibited. But people who fight for only medical use are very misinformed about the problems it can cause to the human body. Not only citizens, but also the media portray this inadequately. The active drug in marijuana is THC. It is found all throughout the United States of America, and it is now in a prescription called Marinol. Doctors know that smoking anything is terrible for the lungs and body in general. So why would you prescribe something that's bad for you to make people feel better when it's also available in pill form? States who are currently legalizing marijuana are only using it as a backdoor method to making pot smoking okay. In all states, getting a marijuana card is very easy. It only requires a very simple doctor visit, and people who do use it typically don't use it for medical reasons. Recently, Fox News interviewed Brad Pitt. They are asking him questions about his past and his childhood, and he admitted that in the 1990s, he was, for the whole decade, continuously smoking pot and did a lot of bad mistakes and just never really felt right about it. And one day, he said that he asked himself, what was the point? I think that other citizens should also ask themselves the same question. What is the point of using this drug? According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, teens are at the greatest risk and most easily influenced to the drug. Your brain is not mature when you're a teenager and is damaged easily. When the THC is smoked, it goes into your lungs and stomach and then quickly into your bloodstream, which leads to the brain. Once it reaches the brain, it damages many of your receptor cells, which is why it reduces pain and nausea. Some claim that it helps, but in reality, it only dulls your mind. It also impacts your memory and how fast you are able to learn something. The brain is supposed to mature well into your 30s and 40s, but if you use the use of marijuana, it will deduct that further development. It's also proved to increase your heart rate, which has led to heart attacks for people and sometimes even death. As you can see in my presentation, that the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana did an annual survey beginning in 1965 till 2011. In 1966, about 100,000 people were arrested for the use of marijuana. By 1996, about 300,000 people were arrested for the use, and as of last year, 900,000 people were arrested for the use of marijuana. Instead of struggling, we need more people fighting to keep this drug illegal. Citizens who feel they need this drug to be happy are either poorly misinformed, don't care about its dangers, or are fighting its legalization for their own selfish reasons. The truth is, this drug will only cause more problems for the United States and for the citizens within it. So why keep fighting? The federal government is doing the right thing by keeping it illegal. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope this presentation was helpful.
Okay, 5 minutes, please.